Good morning and welcome to Renaissance Unity. Good morning. Welcome to all of you seated here and welcome to all of you who are joining online. I'm Beth Gatchell, one of your musical team, along with Ed Lemmers on bass and Roy King on percussion. We also have Freddie and Tone LaTorre and Jerry Slay helping us with sound, and thank you to Angela Barbati for putting the PowerPoint together, and thank you to Reverend Sandra for being here today, and Reverend David, and all who effort to make a beautiful service each week. At this time, would you please invite your cell phones into the silence? Our opening song is Open the Eyes of My Heart. If you're comfortable, would you please stand? So we haven't done this one in a while, but I think you'll catch on quickly.
Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Open the eyes. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. To see you high. To see you high and lifted up. Shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing holy, holy, holy. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Open the eyes. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. To see you high and lifted up. Shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. I want to see you. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. I want to see you. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. I want to see you.
Well, good morning and welcome to the sunny tropics of Northeast Ohio. We made it, right? We made it. And good morning to all those joining online. You know, each week here at Renaissance, when we start the service, we always share that we're a positive, practical, progressive approach to spirituality, and we share that our teachings are based on the teachings of Jesus, the power of prayer, and that we're a group who is very open to integrating all the universal principles in the world's religions, and that we embrace you wherever you are at on your spiritual path. But this morning, I would like for us to notice that here at Renaissance Unity, one of the things I've noticed that is oh so unique about Renaissance Unity, we have such a community of true students that have been on this journey many for over 30 years. Yeah, we are a very strong community. If you've been on the Unity Truth journey for over 30 years, would you just raise your hand? Yeah, look around. Yeah, there's many here who have been on that journey for a long time. You know, one of the things I find is that though I've been on it for just about 30 years, I sometimes feel like I'm just getting started. Do you ever have that? Yeah, that there's so much to awaken to here that I feel like sometimes, wow, I feel like I'm just beginning to awaken to just what it is when we talk about oneness. Yeah. Have you noticed that that's kind of a lifelong journey, isn't it? It really is. It's a lifelong journey to awakening to our first principle. So let's affirm that principle, and let's affirm it in the way that we know that we're very open to continuing to awakening to it. So together, there is only one presence and one power in our lives and in the universe, God the good, omnipotence. Now, Beth, would you lead us in singing that?
There is only one presence and one power in our lives and in the universe. God the good, God the good, God the good omnipotence.
And again together. We are a dynamic fellowship centered in the active spiritual practice of love, truth, gratitude, and service to others. Do we have anyone who is here for the first time? Anyone who is here? Well, let's just know together that Spirit is here this morning because you're here. You're here. And let's know for one another this morning that Spirit has something very unique for you. It may be in Beth's songs and in the band's songs. It may be in something Reverend Sandra shares, but in some way, Spirit has a message just for you. So let's affirm together our mission statement that I absolutely love. I think we have called ourselves to such a high standard with this mission. And the more and more that we awaken to our first principle, the more and more we're able to show up in this way. And this, too, is a lifelong journey. Would you agree? Yes. So together, transforming lives through a consciousness of love. So now just settle in and listen and be with the words of our vision statement. Our vision is an inclusive world where minds, hearts, and hands are connected in raising the global consciousness of love. The global consciousness of love. Now I would like to invite up a truly beautiful soul and a dear friend of mine, our prayer chaplain this morning, Vivian. Would you like to come forward? Yeah, you can give her a hand.
Don't let me trip home to this.
Yeah. Got it.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm so happy to see all of you. Beautiful faces. We have a prayer box here, and I encourage you to, if you have a concern, a worry, something that you desire and need prayer support for, write it on a piece of paper, which is out there on the little stand where the prayer box stays through the week, and put it in the prayer box and let us know. You could either call me or you could send a text message or an email that you need just a little more for that prayer, and we'll provide that. The prayers do get sent to Silent Prayer Unity or Unity Prayer, I forget what their prayer ministry, every month, and I put a note in that we are praying for them, and then they send a letter back to us saying they're praying for us. So you're getting a lot of prayer support, whether you're aware of it or not. So the word today is generous. I give with an open heart. I am generous. Keeping my heart open elevates my experience of generosity. If I give begrudgingly, fearful of not having enough for myself, I am not being truly generous. There is joy and trust in being generous. There is joy in knowing there is no lack at the level of spirit, and my generous impulses are my way of demonstrating my faith in this truth. I place my trust in the spiritual truth that as I give, I also receive. Generosity is a spiritual practice, a commitment to fully participating in the flow of life. As I give generously, I receive the richness of grace, love, and peace. I relax into the flow of synchronicity and receive unexpected blessings. Generosity is the gift I give myself. And from Scripture, the point is this: the one who sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and the one who sows bountifully will also reap bountifully. That's 2 Corinthians 9:6. Thank you.
Well, let's prepare for meditation. So find your comfortable seat. In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. A love that heals, a love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside to quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. A love that heals, a love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. A love that heals, a love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love.
Love. There is only love. It's meditation time. I invite you to just get comfortable in your seats. Maybe you bring your attention to your breath, breathing in deeply and releasing. Inhaling again, filling up your belly, your chest, and then just a sip more. I'm releasing. I invite you to picture yourself as you breathe as love. Just bringing to mind all of the wonderful, warm, yummy emotion that you can muster in your mind. And breathing into that, allowing it to expand. Let that love envelop you first. Take a couple of breaths here and just love on this thing called you. Whether you bring to mind your body, your thoughts, your deeds, your emotions, let's breathe love into that. There is only love. Let this love erase any judgments that you may have about yourself. Release any ideas that you have that may go against you being only love. Your picture is on God's refrigerator. He gazes at you every day and sees the love that you are. Now let this love expand beyond the boundaries of your body, of yourself. Imagine that it blows up, that it begins to press up against the love that is others. It presses up against the boundaries of this building, and it continues to expand, engulfing everything in its way. This love that is you, it goes out before you, above you, around you, below you. It is the love of the universe. Let it expand. Let it encompass all that it comes in contact with. There is only love. This love is transformative. This love is healing. This love is the very energy, the essence of your being. Nothing can resist it. Nothing stands outside of it. Nothing opposes it. There is only love. Only love. Love transcends this lifetime. It goes into your past and into your future. Love is. It was neither created nor destroyed. You participate in it now. It encompasses the moon, the stars, the sun. All that is love. As you breathe, you return your attention to your body. This love that is you. This love that is me. There is only love. Feel your breath. Feel that wonderful heartbeat. Feel yourself. As you feel yourself seated back in your seats, in this chair, in this room. Love. It is what you are. Love transforms. Love corrects. Love is. As you inhale and as you exhale, know that this love cannot be denied. It is the very love of God moving through you as you. It is you. As you begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, know that it is the very love of God that makes all of this possible. Giving thanks. And so it is. Returning in this moment. Blessings, you lovely beings. Amen. Beautiful, beautiful song, Beth. Thank you. There is only love. Hey, y'all. Happy New Year. Is it Happy New Year? This is the first time seeing y'all this year. Happy New Year. Oh, my goodness. So, you know, in the spirit of Joel Osteen, I want to start off with what I call something funny. Only because it goes into this idea that I have for today, this idea that we want to change our minds, right? A new thought, a new change, a new attitude for this year. And so I thought I'd start off, and I want to tell y'all this little joke. And hopefully I get it right, because I haven't thought about it in years, but today it came to me. So, you know, 3 people die, 3 ministers, and they die and they go to hell, believe it or not. They show up in hell, and, you know, the first one is a priest, right? First one is a priest. And he looks around and he says, "Oh, Mother Mary, What the heck is going on here? And he starts, praying the rosary, and saying his Hail Marys. And he was like, Hail Mary this and Hail Mary that. And then he says, Hail Mary, where the hell am I? Right? He's going through this whole thing, and he's starting to think about what he didn't release and let go of, what he hadn't confessed, what hadn't been forgiven, but why was he here? The next one is a Baptist minister. Baptist minister looks around and he's all upset, and he's looking around and he's like, who's in charge down here? Do you know who I am? He starts in with that. And he's like, when Jesus finds out about this, heads are going to roll. Right? And so he's pretty upset. They look around and they look for the New Thought minister that came at the same time. New Thought minister is over in the corner. And as they draw closer to him, they hear him saying a mantra. This is not hell, and I am not hot. This is not hell, and I am not hot. This is not hell, and I am not hot. Now, I don't know about you guys, but we are all responsible for the thoughts that we think. And I always tell people that Jesus told us that the kingdom, the heaven, is here at hand. We get to choose how we see things. I don't know about you, but what I see is heaven, always. So I'd be the one over there saying, this is not hell, and I'm not hot. And I'd probably say, turn the beat up. I know. My own little thing. But I want to talk a little bit about how we see things today. I want to talk about how we define the world, our thoughts, and everything in it. Because we are taught here in science and this science of thinking and unity and all these things, we are taught about how we see the world around us and the definitions that we give to things. So if we're stuck in this mindset that something is wrong, guess what? It will be. Because it is really done unto you as you believe. So we're going to delve a little bit deeper in that. But I want to tell you a conversation I had with my niece yesterday. My niece is, well, y'all have seen my niece. She used to come in here with me. She's 15, and we're driving in the car, on our little outing. And I asked her a question about one of her friends. I was like, have you talked to her lately? And she says, no. She was like, I haven't. And then she puts in, she says, she hasn't called me, so I didn't call her. And I thought, oh, okay. And then she says, I give out the exact same energy that I get back, that I get. And I drive a little bit more. And then I thought, that's what I said to her. I said, could you see that? I said, I couldn't imagine only putting out the energy that I was receiving from anybody. I said, do you see how I am? I said, I set the tone. She gives me this weird look as if to say, I said, if I was to match or mirror somebody else's energy, that means that I've got to probably cut off 3/4 of my personality in order to match what I get from a lot of people who just sit back and look at me as if I've lost my mind. Yeah, really. That's what I think about it. And so I said to her, I said, if I'm going to be the thermostat, am I going to turn it up? Or am I going to try to take the temperature of those that are around me and then just be there? I said, no, we've got to be the people who set the tone. Right? That I feel is my responsibility. It's my job. So, and it's who I've always been. So I want to talk today about what's happening around you. Are you just reporting the temperature, or are you setting the tone? When we start talking about a change of attitude, are you reflecting what it is that you see? Or do you get to see beyond what is present? One of the things that I learned, I do believe it's from Ernest Holmes and Ernest Holmes' teachings in Science of Mind. One of the things that he talked about in spiritual healing and doing the spiritual healing work, I'm trying to make sure that I got the right person. One of the things that he talked about, wait a minute, let me shift over. A Course in Miracles says is that the first job of a miracle worker is to first accept the miracle for yourself. Ernest Holmes says that when you get ready to do healing work, the thing is to not look at what is the problem, but to look beyond the problem and see it as already done. It's already accomplished. And so what happens with each and every one of us is that the work is internal within us, so that we're not walking around and allowing the news to set the temperature. We're not allowing what people get caught up in to set the temperature or the tone, but rather, since we've been 30 years in these teachings, rather we stand in the truth that we already know, and then we set it because if all minds are joined, if oneness is real, when we turn up our temperature, everybody else gets hot. So the work to do is to start working on. People are so upset after the first week. The first week. And so we've got everybody running around and talking about what's wrong. You know, this stuff, none of it is new. None of it is new. Jesus said, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, right? That's the governmental apparatus. That's the way, the politics of the system. He was talking about render unto Caesar that, right? Because somebody was asking him, well, do we pay taxes? Do we have to, there is one part that we're doing here on this physical level that allows us to participate in a system that we live in. He says, but you render unto God what is God's. Caesar can't touch that. So when we start to get our own spirit straight, then all of the rest of the stuff then falls into place, into order. You then know what it is that you are to do. And so it becomes this thing of, if we really exist in oneness, then oneness does not exclude people just because we perceive them as not being godly enough for us. Our godness transforms people. It envelops people. It corrects things. It sets things straight. When we get straight, it's not about what the others do. We begin to work on the internal working of our own heart, not paying attention to what somebody else's heart says. Is mine correct? Mine's is the correction. Course in Miracles also says, they say, well, when we're looking for a miracle, like, what do we do? Who's responsible? Is it the responsibility of the minister? Is it the responsibility? Whoever is saner at the moment, it says. Whoever is saner at the moment. Because we all have a tendency to spin out, because something becomes our issue. Something becomes the thing that sends us in turmoil. Something happens and it's like, And so sometimes we need to reach out and touch somebody. Sometimes we need that word, that reassurance from somebody. Everybody, every one of us does. We look around and we're wondering where it is that we get that that thing that sustains us, that holds us. Sometimes it seems like it disappears, right? Like our center of gravity somehow moves or something happens and we need to reach out. Whoever is saner at the moment. And sometimes that saner person I've found to be a little kid. I was on an airplane one time, and I probably have told y'all about this because it was so impactful for me. I was on this plane ride, bouncing up and down like you would not believe. It was hitting so hard. I don't know if you guys have ever been on a plane ride like that, but it seems like it's going to set, dislocate some joints as you're bouncing up and down like. And I'm sitting there and I'm hearing people saying, oh my God, and they're all upset and, and praying and all of this other stuff. But then all of a sudden I keyed into a voice of a little kid. And that child was sitting on his father's lap. And he was having a conversation that was totally unrelated to anything that was happening on that plane. Daddy, what do you think about? And as him and his father had this conversation, it settled my soul. It was one of those things that all of a sudden you realize that all is well. All is well. That little kid, for that period of time, became exactly what I needed to hear in that moment. So we sometimes think that it comes from somebody who is more grounded or who is better at something than we are. But if you could just for a moment realize that our blessings, our guidance can come to us through any and everybody, then we'll stop getting caught up on how we're thinking about what other people are doing or not doing. You might be the answer that somebody else needs, but you have to show up. Sometimes you show up with a story that you don't even know why you're telling this story, but you were prompted to tell the story. I have bloom where you're planted. Now, if you could just imagine, a lot of times we get caught up on the places where we are, thinking that somehow God is not present there. Somebody might say, well, what about a place like Gaza? And when I open my book, I'm seeing it in my Bible. I'm seeing these places that we're talking about right in our book. It's not new. God is absolutely in each and every one of these places. So the question becomes, what do? Do we succumb to the race-conscious belief that there is something amiss, something that is flawed here? Or do we, in those moments, just recognize that it's possible that we bloom where we're planted? We haven't seen the worst of things. As a matter of fact, we can look at this and we can say over the last week, oh my God, this has happened and that's happened. Or we can sit there and say, wow, as we sip on our next cup of coffee, I'm so grateful that this is all that has happened. There's perspective. And so the question becomes, who is it that you are? Like I like to talk about, I'm the Kool-Aid in your water. I'm that flavoring that is there. That's how I want to be all the time. I don't want to look at the news to determine how I'm going to feel on the day. These temperatures that we've had this past week, yeah, I can complain about them. But oh my God, I've lived through some stuff. I don't know, was it in the 70s that we had this snowstorm that was, and we closing down schools now for temperature. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to, I'm just saying. So it's all relative. This is all relative. so we can figure out how to give gratitude for the things that are what they are in this moment without getting caught up in thinking about how we perceive it to be wrong. So when I think about this, I know there are people who will always be optimists. There will always be the pessimist. There will always be people that'll tell you, I'm just a realist, right? But the question is, who do you desire to be? How is it that you desire to impact the world, your environment, the people around you? What will you report? Will you be running back and saying, we are like grasshoppers and they are like giants? Or will you be the one that'll say, we could do this? That becomes the question. Always looking to see who it is that you will be in any given situation. This morning when another thing that popped into my mind was this idea about in the Course in Miracles, there's this section that I found kind of weird. Not weird at the time when I read it. It was talking about this picture, and it was talking about the frame. Now, it talked about this frame and how people would buy these ornate frames to go around a picture. These ornate frames that may be filled with rubies and emeralds and diamonds. They're all made into the framing of a thing. And it talks about how beautiful this frame is. Now, the question becomes, are we to focus on the frame or the picture that is the frame is for? You see what I'm saying? And so it asks this question because a lot of times we miss the point of things. It's like people used to talk about the finger pointing at the moon. Are you more interested at the finger or in what it's pointing at? And sometimes we get off track. You see, all the things that happen in our life happen for a reason. They come up for a reason. You are that reason. These become moments when you get to discover who you are. This is not about who the president is at the moment. It's not about what the people are saying and reporting on the television at the moment. It's not about all it. Sure, we can sit there and we can kind of get caught up in the drama of it all because that's exactly what they want you to do. They want you to get caught up in this. But let me talk a little bit about this idea of seeing. What does it mean to see? So if we look at this thing and we think that seeing is something that goes beyond just what we look at, seeing is also this cognitive process to see and to comprehend, to understand, to bring clarity to something, for us to give definition or discernment about something. To see is really a process. It's not just to look, it's to actually see. And so when you think about this, in biblical terms, it said, is it the prayer of Jabez that says, all that your eyes can see? So when you look out and you begin to see, seeing is this thing of oneness, of bringing it together, of uniting with it, to go beyond just looking, but to connect in a different way. So are you being transformed by things, or are you a transformative presence? What does it mean for you to see? So when I think about this idea, when I think about what it means to see, I want to be the person that sees, and then in my seeing, be able to, do I want to say to to bring clarity where there might not have been clarity before, to enable to breathe into spaces that we didn't even know was possible for us to delve into and to open up. If my seeing is transformative, then how do I see my brother? How do you see your brother? How do you look and see the news? How do you look and see the president? How do you look and see other people? If you are excluding any of them out of this idea of oneness, then your seeing is tainted. You've got an inability to see clearly. You've got a blockage in the way of you, and it's called your judgment about something. So we've got to transform the way we see things. So then what we see becomes transformed in our minds. Don't exclude anything, because in your exclusion of other people, you are also excluding yourself. Because now you need to back up and do the healing work that is necessary for you to step and be a seer. Does that seem clear? So it becomes this thing of, I get that I'm pissed off, yes. Right? I get angry about these things, yes. But I don't ever give up this idea that anybody stands outside of this. What I have to say is, thank you, God, because now you have given me, look, Reverend Aurelia used to say when she watched the news, she was like, it gives me my prayer list. You give me some work to do, some corrections to make, right? And half of them are within myself. Let me correct my own judgments about things. If I know that we live, move, and have our being in God, so the transformation is not in what needs to happen out there, but it happens within you. It happens within you. I hear people that are, wanting to say, well, who voted and who did this and who did that, as if they're ready to go up and, go to battle and all of this other stuff. This is the time at which we need to be talking about there is only love. There is, bless you. There are these moments when we need to start to transform how we deal with things, so that we are not just sitting up reporting on what somebody did, but rather transforming how we see it. Y'all, you are so powerful. I tell y'all that every time I come in here, I hope. You are so powerful. And so each of us becomes a part of God, is a part of God always. And it is our responsibility to transform self so that we transform others. And this is not like, the little hair products we put in our hair to, and they're only temporary. It kind of snaps back to the way it was before you put them in there. It's not like that. It's like, how do we stick and stay? How do we know that we're loved and stay loved? Be that always, in always, all day, every day. Not just on Sunday. Not just when we come here. But every day and in every way to be this love that is God. I know I gotta shut up. But I think that when I start to think about this change in attitude, the attitudinal change comes within each and every one of us. It's not according to our circumstances like my niece might think. I get it, she's 15, right? She can think that way. But for how long? Is it that if she continues to do that, will she... It's kind of like you don't need to even try to fit in with the pact, right? It just kind of like just becomes the way you do things. But if you've got something in you, if you've got a dream, or if you've got a desire, if you've got something pressing, Sometimes it means that you need to live into that regardless of what the people around you do. I know that sometimes we feel like we've been hijacked. Is that reality television kind of tells us, this is the way to do it, walk like an Egyptian or something like that, and we all start to walk that way. But wonder if there was a different way of being. And I'll tell y'all a little bit. Y'all probably already gathered this about me. I like to push against the edges. I like to push the envelope. Sometimes it's kind of like kids do, when you're raising your children. They try you, don't they? Let's see what I can get away with. I've done that with God. Y'all see, I'm still standing here, right? I sit there and think to myself, like, what is there that's unforgivable that I can think or do or be? Or I'm still standing here, though. That must mean that I got permission. Guess what? If you're still sitting here, it must mean that you have permission too. Some of y'all are a little older than I am. You got permission too to live full out. Figure out what it means if for you want to be love, if you want to express something more, if you want to do something more. Figure out what that means and live into it. Stop boring God. Let's start daring ourselves to be more of it. You are not weathercasters. You set the tone, you set the temperature. You live, move, and have your being in God because you are God, one with it. Always and in all ways. Don't wait till you can't do it. And then sit there and say, what I would have done if I was still, able. Don't wait till you can't do it. Right? Live now. That's what I got for you.
Thank you, Reverend Sandra. Wow. I had some trouble with my thermostat this week, literally. And you've helped me see some things, so thank you. So this next song is about choosing love.
I want to know what I'm doing here, what my purpose is, what I need to get clear to fully live, plugged in below and above, shift from a consciousness of fear to a consciousness of love. I choose love. Oh, oh. Every day I choose love. Oh, oh. I choose love. Every day I choose love. Sometimes my amygdala jacks me, engulfed with fear. No feelings of Lakshmi, so I call on my guides, grandmother's heart totems, consult sacred texts, and the beings who wrote them. I choose love. Oh, oh. Every day I choose love. Every day I choose love.
I can heal with friends and community, family, ministers, Kirtan sisters in unity. And there are real special ones like Michael Curtin heart songs who deny my separateness, remind me I belong.
I choose love. Oh, every day I choose love. Oh, I choose love. Oh, every day I choose love.
Oh, in the past, my life was ruled by traumas, victim, bully, rescuer dramas, but no motto. I submit. I claim my power and my grit. I choose to share my life and keep my love lightly.
And I choose love. Oh, every day I choose love. Oh, I choose love. Oh, every day I choose love. Oh, I choose love. Every day I choose, love. Every day I choose, love. Every day I choose, I choose love. Oh, every day I choose love. Oh, I choose love. Oh, every day I choose love. Oh, every day I choose love.
I choose love. I'm the tone setter. Thank you, Reverend Sandra. Thank you, Beth, for that reminder. So beautiful. Ushers want to come forward. I choose love. I'm the tone setter. Yeah, that's what I'm taking into this week, no doubt. So in that knowing that we are empowered to be the tone setter, let's just affirm together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Freely I give, and freely I receive.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
I am so blessed. I am divine. Affirm that with me. I am so blessed. I am divine. And so in that knowing, we are just so grateful to be here, to be Renaissance Unity, to bring forth this message that we are so blessed and our very nature is divine. And so we dedicate these gifts, these love offerings to the will and the work of that great awakening. In the name and through the power of the living Spirit within, we pray. Amen. Amen. So we have a few announcements this morning. The first I would like to say, if you would like prayer and you would like a little more oomph in it, Vivian is our prayer chaplain this morning. So, and the Reiki Healing Circle will not be held today due to Kim Klein's vacation, and please hold Carol Murphy in prayer for healing for her virus infection. So we'll do that. We'll do that. The next announcement, if you haven't heard, our dear friend and longtime blessing of Renaissance Unity, Kathy Sullivan, made her transition on January 21st. She and Rose were married here at Renaissance Unity. I was here. It was absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I'll never forget it. They blended in this amazing twist of gospel into it, and they were in pure joy. And it was beautiful. It was absolutely a wedding I'll never forget. I'll never forget it. I was so blessed, so blessed. You know, Kathy was a leader here and a vocalist and a piano player, and I saw an email this week, and Greg Benedetto described Kathy as a fun-loving, vibrant, talented, and sassy woman. So beautiful. So this Saturday, February 1st, visiting hour for Kathy will be at 1 at the Chicos and Sons. Did I say that right? The Chicos and Sons Funeral Home in Mayfield Heights, followed by a service at 2 o'clock. So we honor Kathy this morning. We honor you, Rose, this morning. We honor the blessing you both are to this community that you've been. And Kathy, we love you. We're so grateful. So grateful. Yeah, so. So, you know, if I'm going to talk now about Soul Food Sunday, you know I can't do that by myself. So, Marjorie, tell us what you got.
You can talk about soul food. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, next Sunday is Soul Food Sunday. Whatever you bring from your soul, it's going to make it Soul Food Sunday. I want to see each and every one of you and a lot more. And there's a couple on Zoom. I'm talking to you. I will see you. I know my peach cobbler, and I know my sweet potato pie. You got that? And you know you got my cornbread, right? Okay, again, whatever you bring from your soul. And we'll see you next Sunday on Soul Food Sunday, Black History. Thank you.
Thank you, Marjorie. Thank you so much. And the next Sunday will also be Friendship and Birthday Sunday. So if you have a like-minded friend or family member, next week is going to be a wonderful time here at Renaissance Unity. New member orientation, we have rescheduled that April 6th and April 13th, and then the installation will be on May 18th. We had to reschedule several things. You know, I actually counted this morning that from now to the end of March, we have 39 days of events. Yeah, 39 days of events. So we have a lot going on. So it's a good thing when you really have to rethink scheduling and just honor one another and work it all together. So just thank you to everyone who keeps Renaissance Unity vibrant. So please sign up in the social hall for any of those upcoming events. So now let's just all stand and conclude this service together.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony.
let's affirm what we know in unity to be the truth, our prayer protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a blessed week. You look so beautiful.